The John Muir Trail takes hikers from Yosemite National Park to the peak of Mount Whitney alongside the spine of the Sierra Nevada mountain range in California. Several years ago, I decided I wanted to hike it the summer before I turned 50. This video is a recap of my 2+ week adventure along the JMT. Before my hike, Tad and I enjoyed a couple's weekend in the lovely town of Mammoth Lakes, where my hike would start. Along the way, we detoured up into the foothills to drop off my second resupply bucket. The Sequoia Pack Station in Onion Valley had a distinctly Deliverance feel to the place. Here are our buckets, ready and waiting for our arrival in about a week and a half. In Mammoth, we spent 2 nights at the Westin Hotel. Recognize this photo? On Saturday morning, after stopping in the famous Schatz Bakery, we checked out the various hot springs that are near the Mammoth Airport. We had them mostly to ourselves. We visited Hot Springs Creek, where a cold stream mingles with geothermally heated water. Here's the biggest pool, where the water was pretty hot. Saturday afternoon, we rode the Mammoth Gondola, checked out a display on Mammoth's history, and detoured to look at the earthquake fault. In the evening, we relaxed at Mammoth's Village. I thought this sign was perfect. On Sunday, we drove to the Devil's Postpile National Monument. The hexagonal column formation was caused by slowly cooling lava and was created less than 100,000 years ago. Of course, I got my Junior Ranger badge. We also hiked down to Rainbow Falls. Sunday night, we stayed in a rustic cabin at the Reds Meadow Resort. Finally, the big day arrived. After a pancake breakfast at Reds Meadow, my hiking partner Kristy and I set off southbound down the trail, and Tad headed home. Our first day was our only really hazy day on trail until the very end. We saw our first pack train. This is the 900-mile marker for the Pacific Crest Trail. We camped our first night at Purple Lake. We took our first trail bath. All our food was stored in bear cans, which were kept away from our tents at night. Purple Lake at dawn. Lake Virginia on the morning of day 2. The bridge over Fish Creek. Today we'd cross Silver Pass, the first of 10 passes on our hike. We are stopping at Squaw Lake, just below Silver Pass, for a little break. And we made it. Here we are at the top of our first pass. Looking south from Silver Pass. And there's north where we came from. You can see the trail. Right there. I don't know if that works. Tonight we camped along a stream. I opened my first trail fortune. More about those later. I think this is Mono Creek, but we're not sure. I feel like I'm in a rainforest. Sorry for the vertical video, but oh my goodness, it's trees. Day 3 started with a climb up Bear Ridge. Once we got to the top, it was nice to put my feet up for a bit. Okay, everybody does it, so I'm going to try to do it. Making a video while I walk. So, we camped at a gorgeous spot last night along the North Fork of Mono Creek. And then started hiking a little before 7. Climbed 2,000 feet. I forget how many miles. The trail followed Bear Creek for a while, which was a great place to stop for lunch and a swim. Finally, we arrived at Marie Lake, our home for the night above 10,000 feet. It is night 3 on the John Muir Trail. We are at Marie Lake. Our first night was gorgeous above Purple Lake. Our second night was even more gorgeous, right over the North Fork of the Mono Creek, where we had immediate access to the water and the place all to ourselves. Night 3 is even more gorgeous. We do not have a place to ourselves, but it would seem selfish. So, Marie Lake. Right now we're looking south. It's a little after 7 p.m. Those are not our tents, those are somebody else's tents. And then looking north is just amazing. Those are our tents. There's Kristy. I am doing yoga here with an incredible view. Day 4, climbing up above Marie Lake, where we camped last night. You see the little island? We camped right above that. Here we are at the top of Selden Pass. That's looking north where we came from. And there's south. Day 4 was August 27th, Elizabeth's birthday. After summiting Selden Pass, we headed downhill for several miles to the Muir Trail Ranch for our first resupply stop. MTR is just off the trail and only accessible by foot or by horseback. We had to ship our buckets well in advance to get them here on time. MTR has a little store where we could send mail from, and I sent off a few postcards. We also charged up our electronics, which took a while. Eventually, we were on our way again, and with 7 days of food in our bear cans, our packs were heavy. We stopped for the night at the South Fork of the San Joaquin River. Day 5 started with a long, slow climb up to Evolution Falls. We encountered a crazy lady named Luna who told us all about her tofu burrito. Evolution Creek is a hard crossing when the water is high, but for us it was refreshing. The lead rider of this pack train knew of my friend who works up here. Small world. Another lunchtime swim at the lake below Evolution Lake. Finally, we arrived at Wanda Lake where we would spend the night. Above 11,000 feet, the landscape here was surreal and otherworldly. I'm recording this from the top of Muir Pass, looking back on where we slept last night. We camped down there at the big lake, kind of on the left. Notice the haze off in the distance. We could smell that last night in the middle of the night, but I can't smell it now. And here is the pass and Muir Hut. And that's the direction we're headed. We're at the top of Muir Pass at the Muir Hut. It was built by the Sierra Club to give shelter to hikers from storms. Pretty impressive. Muir Pass is iconic because of this hut, and it was a surprising treat to be the only ones up there. Monster Rock is one of those must-do photo ops. We had lunch at a great swim spot today, but I guess neither of us took photos. Most days we started hiking at around 6:30 in the morning, but today we slept in a bit. This stretch is known as the Golden Staircase, and it made me marvel at what the trail builders had accomplished. The Golden Staircase. After that long climb, we stopped early today to rest up for tomorrow. In the sparse trees around 10,000 feet elevation, we often saw these angry birds. Here, they were particularly annoyed with us and dropped stuff on us. Well rested, we started climbing toward our next pass first thing in the morning. All alone at the top of Mather Pass. Coming down the north side, and there it is.
Day 8, just south of Mather Pass. How amazing is this?
Every chance I got, I soaked my feet in the cold streams. After yesterday's short day, we decided to go for it and hit 2 passes in one day. Pincho Pass was the only pass where we encountered another hiker. He took our photo and then kept going, and we were alone again. Day 9 was another ambitious day with a long hike to Glen Pass, infamous for its difficulty. We got to cross the Woods Creek suspension bridge, which was really cool and just a bit scary. Glen Pass did not disappoint. It's not the highest pass, but the terrain is tricky.
All right, see that lake? Where's my finger? Right there. About 2 hours ago, we were swimming in there. Well, splashing. We are on top of Glen Pass. Hard to breathe.
Our campsite tonight was along a creek with lots of fearless deer. Today we left the JMT to head eastward over Kearsarge Pass and drop down into Onion Valley to pick up our resupply. Remember the buckets from the very beginning of this video? Well, it's time to go get them. This resupply had no store and no place to recharge our batteries, but it did have something even better, a shower. After filling up our bear cans with another 7 days of food, we hiked halfway back up the pass.
Tonight's campsite is overlooking Flower Lake. And if you look carefully, you can see fish jumping all over the place. It's making me hungry. We're climbing up Kearsarge Pass to get back on trail. And then you can see the trail up there. And the pass, I think the pass is right there.
Today would be another ambitious day as we returned to the John Muir Trail back over Kearsarge Pass and continued south to cross Forester Pass by the end of the day. Water was abundant nearly everywhere on the trail, and we always filtered it just to be safe.
We're on the approach to Forester Pass. And the pass is up there somewhere.
The terrain leading up to Forester Pass was not too bad, but it was late in the day to be hitting this highest pass along the JMT, and we were tired. But, of course, we made it. The south side descent was short but a bit scary. We decided to camp right at the foot of the pass despite still being at 12,000 feet. This ended up being my favorite campsite of the whole trip, and I got a lot of photos. Bear with me as I add a few more photos of last night's campsite, this time early in the morning with the moon still high in the sky.
We're about 2 or 3 or so miles south of Forester Pass. Headed today for Guitar Lake to summit Whitney tomorrow, most likely. It's a long way to go, so we'll see.
While we were hiking, California was on fire. As we headed south, we were getting closer to one of the fires.
Okay, we are on the Bighorn Plateau, and that is Mount Whitney. That's where we're headed tomorrow.
We climbed no passes today, but we were tired from yesterday. Today ended up being one of our toughest days on trail.
Climbing Mount Whitney in the dark at 1:30 a.m. because we're a little bit crazy.
We went to bed super early yesterday and got up this morning at 1 a.m. We started hiking by 1:30 and were at the top of Mount Whitney by 5:30 a.m. in time for sunrise. We met this woman for the first time at MTR.
Sunrise at the top of Mount Whitney.
What a coincidence that we were there on the 90th anniversary of the Whitney Trail. Remember I mentioned the fortunes? Well, Aunt Elizabeth collected little notes from various family members for me to read while on the trail. I read one every night that we crossed a pass and laid them all out on the Whitney summit. It was such a gift. Back at last night's campsite, we rested a bit, but then packed up and headed away from the crowded base of Whitney to Crabtree Meadow. And here's the only toilet we encountered on the whole trail. Day 14 was our last full day of our trip, and we were now no longer on the John Muir Trail, as our permit had us exiting one pass south of the traditional Whitney Portal exit. We were now closer to one of the fires, and views would be hazy for the rest of our trip.
That is Mount Gayo, or Gayat, not sure. The light is weird because it's very smoky. We've been walking through a very beautiful forest. Here's a good view of seeing how smoky it is out there. So this is the trail. We're walking on shitty sand. It's really annoying.
I borrowed them from a buddy of mine who's a llama outfitter up in Sonora. And the young guy in the back, that's Johnny Cash with all the sass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So on the training stuff, on the certification, our qualifiers, these guys passed their qualifiers with about a C minus.
Last full day of the trail, and I am looking forward to some soap and water. We started our last day at 7 a.m. and would be done in less than 3 hours. The day dawned with a dim red sun and spooky haze from the growing nearby fires.
Our last half day on trail, and it's pretty darn smoky. Turkeys? Grouse? Dinner.
Adding to the eerie atmosphere, cows hidden in the bushes were mooing and moaning.
Prehistoric cows. Between the mooing cows and the smoky air, these woods are kind of creepy.
And then we were done. A shuttle driver picked us up and brought us to Kristy's car in Lone Pine. Our timing was perfect. By this evening, September 7th, the forest would close due to all the fires. We were happy to get home safe and in time for dinner.
This soft beach sand trail is fucking bullshit.